And now for our next news special report.
Tonight, in a tale that's rocked our nation, we delve into an incident where the spotlight turned unforgiving for a seasoned politician. Inside the revered walls of Columbia University, Hillary Clinton, once touted as a master diplomat, faced a test. And the results? Well, they might not be what you'd expect. As tensions around the globe escalate, one brave individual dared to ask the question on everyone's mind. His courage versus her response? You won't believe until you see it. Stay with us for this special report, and trust me, you don't want to miss our final thought on just what this incident says about our political landscape. Now, folks, before we dive into Hillary's Columbia outburst, a quick shout out to our sponsors. They're the reason we bring you top-notch reports daily. Every time you support them, you're backing our mission. We trust their products because we've tried them. And speaking of trust, for those aiming to lose some weight, stepping on a scale is proven to help. And to accelerate the process, there is a natural solution that I have found. It helps manage weight and curb cravings. Right now, there's a 51% discount just for you at trimwithgary.com. And grab it now before it's gone. Now let's unravel today's story, shall we? Diving into the incident at Columbia University that's sending shockwaves across our nation, Hillary Clinton, once believed by some to be a paragon of diplomacy, severely faltered under pressure. During an event marking the 75th anniversary of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, her glaring inadequacy to tackle straightforward, crucial questions was embarrassingly evident. A brave individual embodying the concerns of countless Americans posed a fundamental question. Given her influential status, why hasn't Clinton publicly voiced her stance on the unmistakable foreign policy missteps under President Joe Biden? Let's take a stroll down memory lane. The America under President Trump's stewardship was a beacon of strength and assertiveness on the global stage. We witnessed the Middle East embarking on a potential peace journey. Russia, a perennial thorn in international affairs, was notably passive. Even China, the global behemoth, showed restraint without any overt signs of aggression. These weren't coincidental outcomes. They were the fruits of Trump's strategic foresight and unwavering commitment to American security. Now contrast this with the Biden era. Our brave questioner at Columbia astutely highlighted the stark contrast, stating, President Joe Biden is requesting a staggering $100 billion of funding for Israel, Taiwan, and Ukraine. He further probed the logic behind such decisions, questioning, are we blindly barreling towards World War III? Letting influential figures like Hillary Clinton tacitly greenlight this direction? And rather than delivering a considered reply, or at the very least acknowledging the validity of his concerns, Clinton's response, to put it mildly, was less than stellar. The fiery retort, sit down! We've heard your opinion! Echoed not just within the confines of Columbia University, but throughout America. This wasn't the leadership or level-headedness the nation sought or indeed deserved. Watch.
Struck by the hypocrisy of the...
Two more people to hear from.
I'm sorry.
You have a chance. Well, I'm not sorry. You sit down.
I know you're not sorry. That's the point. The hypocrisy of this speech. The hypocrisy of the fact that what do you have? Can you please
make
a statement about President Joe Biden's speech? This is a clearly warmongering speech. President Joe Biden is calling for $100 billion of funding for Israel, Taiwan, and Ukraine, and we're supposed to just bundle these together and pretend like we're going to rush to World War III, and we're all just going to let Hillary Rodham Clinton sit here. Okay.
I'm sorry. You know, this is not the way to have a conversation.
I'm sorry.
If you want to have a conversation, you're welcome to come talk to me afterwards.
You can sit here. Okay, right. You're gonna wait for me, right? Please, I do not believe you.
And I will listen to you, and I will respond to you.
I do not believe you. Respectfully, I do not believe you. And the fact of the matter is that the American people's voice are what need to be heard.
Yeah, they are being heard.
Because our president is not speaking for the American people, and neither are you.
That's your opinion. That's your opinion.
Yes, that's my opinion.
Well, then sit down. We've heard your opinion. Thank you very much. Now we're going to turn to people who are
I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to stop
working on behalf of human rights.
I'm going to exercise my free speech.
But it's not free speech when you are disrupting everybody else's opportunity to speak.
This is free speech, everyone. This is free speech. That is not free speech. This is people constructing narratives that are openly hypocritical. I'm sorry. The incredible hypocrisy.
You know, maybe you could actually...
went with Eleanor Roosevelt to bring this Declaration of the Rights of Man. John Foster Dulles was involved with the CIA.
Oh, yeah, well, you're brilliant in your historical cherry picking.
The Pinochet regime.
Oh,
Please, could you please inform me about the United States involvement in these historical things?
We're going to move on
Miss Clinton, will you denounce Joe Biden? Will you denounce Joe Biden's
human rights, not just yelling about it? So, Frank, I want to turn to you because you are from Uganda, and Uganda's 2023 anti-homosexuality act criminalizes LGBTI conduct in Uganda.
To push us to World War III.
Oh,
Do you
please.
understand? It's not about Israel and Palestine. It's not football. This isn't football. It's not Team America.
Well, I'm sorry, but some of us are on Team America despite our flaws and our problems.
Yes, that's me.
And some of us, every person on this stage.
You have to stop right now. You have to stop.
Wait, I want to say one thing. Every person on this stage has risked their life, their income, their reputation, their careers, and what have you done other than stand up and discuss?
I need you to
my record and these women's records and Frank's records against you any day of the year.
I'll respond. What I have done is I have asked Hillary Rodham Clinton to denounce the president's openly warmongering, suicidal, idiotic speech.
And I've given my answer. I will not do that. So that's the end of our conversation.
Okay,
but I'll still meet you outside. But you're done
right now.
Okay, Frank.
Frank
has.
Wow. Following the confrontation, mainstream media channels ranging from Newsweek to the Washington Examiner spotlighted this unanticipated lapse from Clinton. But looking beyond this singular episode, it's symbolic of a wider issue, the Democrat leadership's seeming incapacity to address and confront pivotal issues with straightforwardness we saw during Trump's era. In a world where everything is dissected and magnified, leaders ought to be mindful that their reactions aren't just fleeting moments but contribute significantly to their lasting legacies. Trump, despite facing a barrage of criticism, remained undeterred in his beliefs, always welcoming challenges and dialogues. In contrast, Clinton's outburst at Columbia will linger as a blemish, serving as a stark reminder of a lost opportunity for constructive discussion. While the intention of the Columbia gathering was to laud the UDHR, its legacy will now be intertwined with this moment of confrontation, throwing light on Clinton, Biden, and the overarching state of the Democrat leadership. For a sizable chunk of our populace, this incident reiterated a longing for the clear-cut and determined leadership symbolic of the Trump years. Now, to contextualize and emphasize, let's pause and reflect. A former Secretary of State, a past presidential candidate, someone who's been on the global stage for decades, ought to have the wherewithal to address a straightforward question. And yet, what do we witness? A veritable meltdown over a legitimate inquiry about President Biden's questionable foreign policy maneuvers, moves that have destabilized our once secure international stature. Under Trump, we reveled in a Middle Eastern peace, watched Russia remain distant, and saw China act without overt hostility. But with Biden's helming the ship, he's not only requesting massive funds for Israel, Taiwan, and Ukraine, but seems to be amalgamating these complex geopolitical entities without much foresight. And while Clinton may want to preach her perspective from her podium, she failed to uphold the very essence of diplomacy when confronted with an innocent yet incisive query. It's not presidential. The imperative now for the good of our republic is for Clinton to introspect, recalibrate, and perhaps, as some suggest, take a step back. As we wrap up tonight's report, the incident in Columbia provides more than just a momentary blip in our 24-hour news cycle. It reveals the stark contrast between a genuine concern from the public and the apparent fragility of a seasoned politician. The man who confronted Clinton demonstrated the sort of tenacity and demand for accountability that every American should embody. Instead of addressing his genuine concerns about our nation's direction, Clinton's reaction was unfortunately one of defensiveness and disdain. It's an undeniable testament to the leadership crisis that looms large in certain corridors of power. So let's applaud the courage of those who dare to question, to challenge, and hold our leaders accountable. For in such moments, the true nature of leadership, or the lack thereof, is laid bare for all to see. Congratulations, you made it to the end of the video. Now keep up your quest for truth with this next news report. And if you found our channel enlightening, join the millions who agree with you. Tap subscribe. Thank you for watching the Next News Network.